Hi guys, putting here with the game for you with a Tier 10 French heavy cruiser, the Henri V, better known as HIV, stupid missions. And today it is by Old School Gaming, and the YT at the end of his name is yes for YouTube. Does have a channel. English is not his first language, so if you go check him out, I would cut him a lot of slack because he usually has some really solid gameplay on his channel. It's mainly him and Robin are the only two that I watch on YouTube anymore. And usually I do that in bulk. But the Henri is an excellent flanking ship because it has troll armor. It's got extreme long range if you put on the range module. Now, I can tell he's not running range module because he only goes out to 19.1, which means he's running the reload module. Now, if you guys have your captain skills and your modules, please take pictures, send those in with them too, because I think when you're looking at these ships, the captain build kind of dictates a little bit of what you're doing. Like, if you can see the build, you will understand why a person is doing what they're doing. I.e., like, I run the range mod over the reload on Henri because I'm not a cruiser main. I'm not comfortable enough in the ship because I don't play it enough. And it allows me to traverse my turrets just a little bit faster. That is some of the main reason why I went with it, is just because of the turret traverse I didn't like. I usually put myself in bad situations. Now, I haven't seen this replay because I'm having PC problems still, but you know what? We do get it to get up and go for a while, and then I have to do a whole bunch of cleaning of old files. I'm still working everything out. So this is going to be a first time for all of us as far as this. Usually I do watch them, but unfortunately with everything that has happened, it's just we're going to do this by the seat of our pants as he is punishing this poor Salem. Now, if you notice, he hit a speed boost, but he's pretty much stopping and reversing, messing with his speed. That can throw people off, thinking you're actually going faster than you than you would be. The other thing is, I like how he did not use his reload booster, because you know what, it's kind of early in the game and there was no need for it. If it was a DD or something, I would have definitely I personally would have used the reload booster. Like for the Hiragumo here, I just pop it. At this point, I would just pop it because you don't know how long this guy's going to be spotted for. But then again, you know what? There were torps coming in, and looks like you got it anyways. But I mean, I would have just popped it anyways. Get the guy dead faster, because even if you did get those couple of hits in on him, the kill would have went to the destroyer, which really means the Hiragumo would have been dead sooner, which means the Hiragumo had less time to do things, i.e., maybe set the fire, drop torps. He would just have a you know, that little bit less, that split second less to do something, and sometimes that split second can come back to bite you in the butt or be a real pain. But still, luckily, the gentleman died. Now, this is what I mean by it's a good flanker. If you can kind of see, he's off by himself. He is 1-2 lining it, while most of his team that is on the side is more or less by 3-4. While the curvers can still turn out, at this point, I'm not exactly sure why you're dropping 9 kilometer torps on stuff that is so far away. I mean, the destroyer's already dead. Anything that's going to push into your torpedoes should naturally be spotted, which I believe would be Des Moines, which is like 10.4 kilometers now. I don't think dropping these torps all the time is the wisest decision. The other thing is, I get called out on not utilizing my sectors when it comes to a carrier, as we do that, but you're facing a midway, which are as bombers. My personal choice would be you just leave them both at 100 because there's no weak side while there is no strong side. The bread and butter for the midway is going to be bombers. Of course, you've got speed you can use to mess with, but still at the end of the day, you got to shoot down them planes. Now he's done a good job kiting this side, but you know, you hear me say there's a fine line between kiting and running away. Kiting is the guys are still coming after you, and they're still paying attention to you, and they're following you. That's kiting. Once they stop ignoring you and start shooting other things or start making a different play, you turn into, well, you're just kind of running away. These guys seem to stop, slow down, didn't want anything to do with him kiting, so instead of continue to run away, he's turning and just going to be rinse, repeat process. Get in close, turn out, get in close, and just run away while shooting these guys. Just because you're running away shooting these guys doesn't mean you're not participating in a battle. It's just that these guys have decided not to allow you to kite them. But you know what? When that happens, it's just a rinse and repeat process. And what I would be doing now is actually turning back towards the one line, but then I just take a quick look at the mini map. The Republic Conqueror, they want nothing to do with this. Can't tell exactly what the Yami's doing, but the Des Moines is definitely coming forward, and it looks like the Yamato is too. But we can definitely see the Yamato's guns are looking towards the battleship that you are pushing to, i.e. the 3-4 line. You have to make the turn of death in front of them. Luckily for you, whatever was shooting at you completely missed. But if you would have started earlier and then having gone more towards the 1-2 line, the Yamato, kind of now has to choose who he wants to shoot at. At this point, the Yamato can, while he still has a choice, but his choices are now Repub, Montana, and yourself. To where if you were on the other side, it's just Repub, Montana, or turn his guns and shoot you. And Yamato guns don't turn very well. And that goes true for everything that's down there. It's like, you guys are all grouped up while the Henri's a great flanker. And yes, while you can't get this to work, you did have the room to mess around with on the one line to get these guys to not look at your teammates or get in some free cheeky shots. Now, the Repub unfortunately died, but he made his turn. Now, if the Montana keeps going his way, it's going to turn into, it's going to kind of reverse the situation. You're working the flank, you're working the middle, but the principle is still the same. These guys are now going to have to decide who they want to shoot at. And, you know, so it's... Jesus, where... Well, that was my bad. But, didn't realize I did that, guys, and I apologize. But, even watching that, you know, you can see how these guys' guns are looking now, and, you know, all the positioning, and I don't know why you're dropping torps again. There's no need to drop these torps. I mean, they do have a long cooldown, and there's probably no way you're going to get into a situation where you need them, but you never know. Now, there's nothing wrong with popping up your torps and looking at what direction they're going is. Whoa, look, surprise, witherer. Looking at, you know, like which way they are maneuvering, but this is what I mean, like the Des Moines here. Who does this Des Moines want to go broadside to? Montana or to you? And either one is not good, as somebody kindly tells the carrier what he can go do with himself. I only point that out because today has been nothing but frustration, and some of the issue has been carriers. Just, I cannot stand double carrier games. Why? Now, I know you're running the reload module. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't use the reload booster. You know what, on ships like, you know what, take a couple cracks at the Republic, but at this point, hit your reload booster and start pounding on that Conqueror. Because, you know, as you can see, it's like 9 seconds for these shells just to get there. The cooldown for most battleships is 30 seconds. I do believe you can get off 3-ish salvos, but I mean, at this point, by the time your shells get there, his cooldown should be done. And you want to get as much downrange as possible to potentially start those fires and get this guy burning. Once again, this kind of comes down to one of those, you know, every second could potentially count, especially with when you're dealing with a Conqueror that has a well-known print a new ship heal. Well, did you hit your reload booster? Well, I just noticed it. You know, that happened, but I do like how you kind of stop advancing. You're dealing with the Repub. He is turning broadside as you run into the Port Grozovoy. You know, it's worth it, like, to switch for one salvo to AP for this guy just to get him dead faster. And I mean, unfortunately, we couldn't get that fire reset on the Conqueror, but I mean, look at he may not be printing an entirely new ship, but he's printing enough of a ship to still be extremely relevant. As the poor Grozovoy dies to the Skillway or the Midway, whichever one you prefer to call it. Now, what I do like what he's doing in this situation is it's a Conqueror and a Des Moines, and he sped up, slowed down, probably to bait out some shots, but more importantly, the Des Moines can't partake in this battle because of the island. The Des Moines is looking at the Montana, and I think you've got expert marksman. I don't know, because I don't run expert marksman. I personally would have just shot what was ever in there, hit this reload booster, and just AP this guy to living hell. Just personal choice. But you know, he was wise enough. He did see the situation unfolding in front of him, and knowing that AP was going to be a lot better than HE. And the other thing is, like I'm saying, like I know I get called out for not paying attention to my sectors, but if anyone else has been paying attention, I don't think you've changed the sectors on your AA. And so I'm saying is like if you're going to do that, you need to be proactive with it compared to where I'm just lazy and just but that screw it. I'm just going to leave everything at 100 so I don't have to worry about it until I definitely need to or depending on what it is. But you finally get a fire back on the Conqueror. The Conqueror understands AP, which is not a good situation, but at the same time, you just managed to hit your speed boost. It just amazes me the amount of battleships that put out one fire and don't get punished for it. It's some of my issue with this nerf to freaking floods. It's because of guys like this that, put out one fire and would flood. Now, his situation may be a little bit different due to health issues, but he still had enough to kind of tank some of that health. Now, of course, there's a carrier, i.e. the artillery of World of Warships. Anybody from the good old closed beta days will understand that one. But you are doing some mini-map shooting, like using the circle, last known position, getting some hits, and oh look, a 5-second fire. Mom would be so proud. But luckily for you, of course you're paying attention, you were wise enough to remember that you did have one of your sectors, strong side, compared to weak side, and that's the side you're trying to keep towards the attack planes to shoot them down as you turn back to try to get the fighter planes. So you are paying attention to at least your sectoring instead of just being lazy like me and just leaving everything at 100%. But you have 29 seconds till your reload booster comes back. I didn't even see you use it. I wonder if it doesn't show you using it, or I am just not paying that close of attention. Now, with the Midway being an armored deck, even though he is showing you broadside, as you just prove everything I was about to say completely wrong, as you get 2 Citadels and Confederate. Sometimes you're better off just keeping the HE, but this is not one of those times. If you don't get a Citadel here, I'd be amazed. As that carrier was kind enough to give you Confederate, High Caliber, and Crack and Unleash, and completely prove everything I was saying about, armored deck, don't shoot AP at it. If it is broadside and you guys are close, shoot AP at the gentleman. Now, I do hope you guys enjoyed watching Old School Gaming and as Henry and me stumble along trying to commentary this. Lovely replay and excellent use of a Henri and its flanking capabilities with the reload booster. You guys should go check out his YouTube channel. I will have a link in it somewhere. There will be a link to his channel. We do appreciate all the support you guys do give us. We do love the replays you do send us. I do watch them when I can, guys, even though I'm going through issues. Please remember to compliment good teamwork, good team play. We are quick to report, slow to compliment. Please hit that like and subscribe button, and have yourselves one heck of a great day.